Guys, I hope you are doing well today. It's another day that I've decided to come back again, and it's money discussion. The whole week has been money and since I have so much, as I said, I have a lot to share, and I have to finish. Every time I think of something that I've not talked about that is helpful, just a continuation of what I had started. Remember, last time I talked about emergency funds, and I just felt like there's something that I still left out, which you need to combine in order to have that financial success. So in today's video, I'm going to discuss the importance of budgeting and how we are going to carry out a successful budgeting plan that will enable you to reach your financial goals. So if you are new here, this is Sheila Arunga and this is Sheila's World. Welcome. And for the returning subscribers, I still appreciate you and I don't take you for granted. For the new people, please consider subscribing because we learn a lot every single week about saving and investment, home improvement, and any other thing that involves family, because all the finances and home improvement is about family. So my content is usually around family setup. So today I decided, let me just share something that I do even in my life when it comes to budgeting. So budgeting is basically knowing where your money goes. But I know majority of people, when you get your salary, you don't really plan how to spend it, but you just, whatever comes, like it goes the way it disappears within no time, because you can't even tell. Most people, even by the 10th, they don't have their salaries. They can't even tell how it got finished. So the important part when it comes to budgeting is getting to know where your money goes. And the most successful people, they're actually successful because of how they plan on how to spend their money. They even employ professionals to do it for them. So if you're in a position to employ someone to help with budgeting, kindly do it, because it will really make a difference when it comes to your finances. So you need to be having that budgeting time every month. Like around this time, before end month, before you receive your income, you need to sit down and know how many incomes are you getting in that month, or how much money do you expect to have by a certain time of the month. So you need to budget that money, and you break down the plans depending with what comes first when it comes to your bills. So budgeting is about planning with the money that you have and taking care of all your bills and savings. So the first thing you need to consider when you're doing your budgeting, you need to list down your money for emergency. So money for emergency and maybe for your retirement planning. Those are the most important key factors that you should consider first when it comes to budgeting, because those are the foundation of your financial success. So next, you need to plan for your basic needs. What are your basic? How much do you spend on your basic needs? That is housing, transportation, and food. I'm sure you can, if you list down how much you spend per month on food alone, you're able to rate, like, let's say 20,000, 30,000 just on food. Then there's transportation, fuel. How much do you spend on fuel? Make sure you list every coin down. Then housing, rent. How much rent do you pay? So make sure you list and know exactly this is the exact amount I use every single month on these needs. So another thing is other goals. Besides the basic needs, I'm sure you have other goals that you save for, like maybe you have an education fund for your children. You have other investments, you buy shares. Those also need to be considered when you are doing your budgeting. So that is the third important thing that you should note down when you are doing your budgeting. So the most important thing is ensure that each category you specify how much money goes to that particular budget. So the last part is like, you need to, is it called miscellaneous, or everything else that you can consider in your budgeting. So things like shopping for your personal care. We do manicures, pedicures, hair. So those are things that fall, they are not basic needs, but things that we still do in a month. So list all of them down so that you get to know how much do you spend on, let's say, eating out, how much you spend on your buying shoes, everything, and make sure you stick to that budget, so that if it goes beyond it, you cut it. Don't spend it beyond what you budgeted for. So there's I'll give you 4 ways that you can budget that money based on percentages that you allocate on each. So the first one, we talked of emergency fund or your retirement planning. 15%. That's what's the formula I use when I do my budgeting. 15% of your income should go for your emergency fund. Remember, I talked about emergency fund in my last video. If you didn't watch that one, kindly check in my list, the content list. You'll find the video on emergency fund. So emergency fund, as I said, should come first, and retirement. If you don't start with those ones, you'll never budget for them and you'll never start saving. So 20%. 20% should go towards your retirement and emergency fund. So the other 50%, because basic needs, it's a lot of our income. That's where food, rent, school fees, things that need to be taken care of like immediately. You can't wait for those ones. So 50% of your income definitely goes towards that planning for budget. Then the other goals, like let's say you have a chama, you have savings, you have an education plan for your child, and any other kind of investment that you do after the emergency fund, that goes under the other kind of savings. So that 15% of your income should go towards that. So we have 20% for emergency, 50% for the basic needs, then we have 15% for other savings, other investments, or savings, things like other savings that you do besides the normal emergency fund. Then we have money for shopping. We have to consider that also, because you can't just say you'll be very mean to yourself in the budgeting that you can't even make your hair or make your nails, and all that should be included in your budget. So another 15% goes towards that for other kind of spending that will have to take place during the month. So it's very important to stick to your plan. I know sometimes it can fail. It's really hard to stick to a budget, and that's why for most people it's never easy. If you can, kindly get a professional. If you can afford, get someone who can sit with you down and help you out to plan your budget and see where you can reduce in terms of cutting some of your spendings. Because if you don't plan your budget, trust me, that is a financial disaster that is awaiting you. So there are ways that you can cut on budgets. Like there are things that you can do to improve on your budget, because sometimes our incomes, it's never enough. You find after you budget until it goes beyond your it's above your income. For you to be able to live comfortably, sometimes it goes beyond. So there's a way you can cut some of the things in your budget so that you're able to plan carefully. So there are things that let's say you can avoid impulse buying. That's one of the ways of cutting on budgets. Most of us, especially even myself, I had that habit. Every time you get a salary, that is the time you are online shopping. We shop for clothes, we shop for everything. You bought some clothes, even the ones you've never worn. You have shoes that you've never even opened, but you keep buying new ones. So one of the best way of helping you to save on your budget is, if you can, kindly wear the clothes that you have, and just give yourself a break from buying clothes all the time. Another important thing that can help you on saving so that you can meet your budget is if you can carry packed food to work. You can actually decide, I won't be buying lunch. That 200 or 300 shillings that you will save there, it can really take you a long way. There are so many ways. I told you, once you open those money market accounts, you can even send 100 bob there. So it's a best way, if even starting your saving plan, by just cutting on some of the budgets that we put on ourselves every single month. So you can cook and pack your meals and carry to work. Another thing is the importance of shopping in bulk. You see, whenever you go you shop in bulk, you save a lot. And that's why in my previous video, I always talk about myself, because that's what I like doing, and it really helps when it comes to planning my money. I like taking advantage of discounts. When you buy in bulk, there's always discounts on everything. Or even you can, if you know wholesale places where you can buy food in bulk, non-perishable food. Don't go and buy vegetables in bulk, or fruits and vegetables and maybe meat. But meat you can if you have a deep freezer. But I prefer buying the non-perishable goods in bulk, so that I can stay even 3 months without going back to the shop to buy those things. So that will help you a lot. You will save a lot on discounts. On even buying in bulk, you buy at a lower price than when you buy things on individual. Then you can still do things like do it yourself, things doing like your hair at home. I do that a lot, and there's a video also that I did on how I do my hair at home. So you can minimize salon visits, but just doing some of the things at home instead of going to the salon all the time. Because I believe with the salon, you won't spend less than 5,000. I know on average, your nails, your hair. But if you learn of how to do those things by yourself, you'll save a lot. Then learn to, let's say, pay things on cash. Don't get used to online purchases. Because when you don't see the money, you don't feel it. But at the end of the day, that will really mess up your budget. I used to be a really victim of that. Every time I have the bank app, anytime I want money, it comes. So I decided even I had to delete that app so that I only work with what I have. So that has really helped me when it comes to budgeting. Another thing is there are some subscriptions that we have in our home that I don't think we really need them or we don't use. For example, the TV subscription. DSTV, I don't use DSTV. I stopped. Since I have an internet, Wi-Fi, I prefer whenever I want something, I just stream on YouTube and I watch. So I don't pay for DSTV. I don't pay Netflix. I just stopped recently because I realized I don't even watch Netflix. I pay for months in, and I don't use it. So I stopped the subscription. It saves me a few thousands in a month. So that has helped me so that I don't struggle from one salary to the next. Like you're holding on a tight string, waiting just for your salary to check in. So you find you start having that financial freedom. It's more of you feel you're not really pressed with your financial needs because you plan for them. So it's very important to plan, have a budget, stick to it. I know it will not be easy if you are beginning, but it's very important. It will work if you really stick to whatever you plan. That this month I'm not going to buy clothes, and also have schedules of if I want to buy, I'll buy only if I achieve this. Like in my case, what I do whenever I want to buy something new, I don't rely on my normal every month salary. I make sure I'll get money outside my salary. That's why I was talking about the importance of having side hustles. When you have side hustles, you can easily buy other things without interfering with your budget, because that is extra money, just increasing your streams of income. So even with saving, it's really hard just to save when you're depending on that one particular income that is not even enough, that is almost next to none. So kindly, please, if you can, consider having one side hustle. It could be anything. There are so many side hustles. If you just find, I've named some of them in two of my videos. I named some of the side hustles, but there are also others that you can easily do from the comfort of your office. So just find out what can work for you. What talents do you have that can enable you to make more money and monetize it? So today, that was the important part that I wanted to consider, like to add in one of my money talks that I've talked before. Because without budgeting, saving won't make sense. You have to budget first before you start saving, before you do anything, before you pay your bills. So budgeting is like the backbone of your financial success. So that is all for today. Thank you for sticking around, and we'll continue next time. And kindly comment below on the comment section what you'd like us to include in my money talks, because once a week I try and include money talks in my content. I diversify, but I try because that is my career. I advise people on money every single day. I advise people on planning their finances every single day. So I not share with my followers here too. So thank you a lot for watching, and we'll catch up next time. And please subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. It really means a lot to me. Thank you and have a good evening.